The forest is dark and silent. Leaves move slowly in the wind. The sky is red with smoke and fire. The war has ended, but the earth is broken. Jake walks carefully between the trees. His boots make no sound. He holds a homemade spear in his hand. He wears old armor made from car parts and wires. His face is tired but sharp. He has survived alone for a long time. The alien patrols move in the sky. Their ships are black and shaped like knives. He sees them sometimes. He hides when they come close. Today is different. Jake found new tracks near the river. Heavy steps, strong and deep. Not like normal soldiers, not machines, something else. Follows the trail with care. His breath is slow. He counts every step. The tracks stop near a cave. There is smoke. In the air, a small fire. Maybe Jake kneels. He hears a sound, metal moving, breathing. Not human. He moves around the rocks and sees her. She is tall and strong. Her skin is bronze and marked with lines. She wears silver armor and her eyes are golden. Her weapon is broken. She is alone. She is an Amazon. Jake watches her quietly. She looks tired, hurt. She does not see him yet. He pulls out his trap. It is simple but smart, a net made from steel wire. He waits for the right moment. The Amazon turns her face hard. She hears something. Too late. Jake throws the trap. It hits her fast. She falls with a loud cry. She fights, but the net holds her. Jake runs to her with his spear ready. She growls like an animal. She tries to stand, but the net cuts her skin. He says nothing. He ties her arms. He takes her weapon. She stares at him, angry and proud. Not afraid. Jake drags her to his bunker. It is hidden under the ground, cold and dark, full of tools, food and old tech. He ties her to a chair made of pipes. He lights a fire and looks at her. She watches him like a wolfie, asks her name. She says nothing. He brings water. She spits it on the floor. He waits. Hours pass. The night is long. Outside the wind grows loud. Strange sounds in the air. Drones. Maybe. Jake checks the radio. Old static and broken voices. Suddenly she speaks. Her voice is deep and smooth. She says the sound is wrong, not a scout signal. Something else. Jake looks at her. She says it again. It is a hunter drone. He moves fast. He hides. The fire covers the bunker top. The drone passes above a dark shadow with lights. It scans the ground. Ruva watches from the chair. Her name is Ruva. She does not say it yet, but her eyes show something new, fear. Jake sits near her. He asks again, why are you alone? Where is your unit? She says nothing. He asks if she will kill him if he unties her. She smiles. Not a nice smile. He does not untie her. She says slowly, if they find me with you, they will not ask questions. They will kill both of us. Jake feels cold, not from the weather. He asks why. She looks at the wall, then at him. Her voice soft now. Because I ran away. Jake does not understand. She says nothing more. Silence again. The fire is small now. Jake eats from a metal bowl, offers her some. She looks away, then takes it slowly. They eat in silence. Jake watches her as she drinks the water, this time not fast, not angry, like she is thinking. He asks her name again. She says, do not matter when you are hunted by your own. Jake nods. He knows what that feels like. Outside, the drone comes back, but this time it stops. Ruva closes her eyes. She whispers, they are not looking for humans. They are looking for me. Jake holds his spear tighter. The hunted has become the bait, and the hunter may not be ready for what comes next. Asterisk. The night is cold and heavy with silence inside the hidden bunker. Jake cannot sleep. The fire is low and the light dances on the walls. Ruva sits against the pipes, her hands still bound, her eyes fixed on him like she is watching a storm waiting to rise. She speaks after hours. Her voice is calm, but something in it shakes the air. That drone was not scanning for life. It was searching for a signal. It was looking for me. Jake stands and looks at the old radio. Wires sticking out, knobs, rusted signals, broken and sharp. He hears nothing but static. Ruva leans forward. There's a mark on my armor. It sends a code every hour. It tells them where I am. Jake looks at her armor. She knows what he is thinking. If you remove it wrong, it explodes, she says. Then she smiles. But I think you are clever. Jake moves slowly and kneels beside her. His fingers trace the edge of the armor. The mark is small, like a black stone under her collar. He gets his tools. Worn and old, but precise. A screwdriver, a cutter, and a battery patch. Ruva does not flinch as he works. She stares at the ceiling like it is the sky. Jake removes the stone with care. One wrong move and the entire bunker will become fire. He cuts a wire, pulls a chip, breathes slow. The light on the stone fades. It is done. Ruva lets out a breath, not fear, relief. Jake stands and walks away. He drops the tracker into a metal box, seals it. Now you are invisible, he says. Ruva tilts her head. Am I safe now? Jake replies. No one is safe. She watches him again. You are not like the others, she says. Jake picks up a metal cup, fills it with water, gives it to her. She drinks slowly, her eyes softer now. Why did you run? He asks. She says nothing for a long time. Then she speaks. I was born to lead but not to obey, because they chose war over wisdom, because I saw what we became. She leans back. I killed too many to still call myself a warrior. Now I am just a shadow with a name. Jake asks. What name? She looks at him. Ruva. Jake nods once, then walks to the other side of the bunker. He sits on the floor, watches the fire. Morning comes slow and gray. The bunker smells of smoke and metal. Jake unties her hands. Ruva stretches her arms marked with lines and scars. She does not attack. She does not run. She simply stands. Jake holds out food. She takes it. They eat without words. Later, climb out of the bunker. The forest is quiet. Birds fly over broken trees. The wind moves like a whisper. Ruva looks up at the sky. There was a base near the mountains, she says. It has a beacon. That is where the drone will report. Jake listens. If they know you are gone, they will come. Ruva nods. Yes, and if they find this place, they will burn it. Jake asks, can we stop it? She replies, only if we destroy the beacon. He thinks for a moment, then nods, relieved. Tonight, back inside the bunker, Jake prepares. He sharpens his spear. Ruva helps without being asked. She moves like a soldier, silent, fast, focused. Jake gives her a small knife. She accepts it. Trust does not need words. That night the forest is dark, but alive. They move together. Jake knows every tree, every path. Ruva follows like wind behind his steps. They reach a broken highway. Underneath it, the air smells like oil and fire. Ahead is the base. Lights hum like angry bees. Jake and Ruva crawl through a gap in the wall. Inside the base, machines move without sound. Drones float between towers. They reach the beacon, a tall black pillar glowing blue at the top. Ruva signals to wait. She pulls out a cable from her armor, connects it to the beacon's panel. Alarms start. Red lights blink. Jake grabs his spear. Ruva shouts. 1 minute. Guards appear, alien soldiers with hard faces and bright weapons. Jake fights fast, sharp, brutal. His spear moves like lightning. Ruva works the panel, fingers flying. The beacon sparks. The tower shakes. She yells. Now they run as the beacon explodes. Behind them, fire climbs the sky. They dive into the trees as debris rains down. Silence returns. They lie on the ground, breathing hard. Jake looks at her. You could have left me. Ruva replies, you could have killed me. They say nothing else, but something between them has changed. Not chains, now choice. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. The forest breathes with smoke and silence. Ash falls from the sky like snow made of fire. Jake and Ruva walk slowly through the trees, their bodies tired, their minds quiet. Beacon is gone, but the war is not. They know it. They feel it in the earth. Under their feet, Jake carries his spear across his back. Ruva holds a piece of metal shaped like a blade. Her eyes are sharp, her steps smooth like a predator in the wild. They do not speak much. They do not need to. At night they build a fire near a dead river. Ruva watches the flames like she is reading memories inside them. Jake breaks old branches and throws them in one by one. Asks her if she had a family. She does not answer at first. Then slowly she says, I was born in a war tank, raised by machines, trained by warriors, and promised to the army before I could speak. Jake listens without speaking. He does not blink. She continues, I fought my first battle at age 9. I killed my first rebel at 10, and I led a squad of 50 when I was 12. I knew only orders and death. Then I saw the burning of a human village and a child hiding behind a broken machine. She looked like me, afraid, alone, unarmed. Jake whispers. What did you do? Ruva closes her eyes. I left. I ran. They called me traitor and sent hunters after me. Jake feels something in his chest. Not fear, something heavier, he says. My family died when the first wave hit my city. I was at the edge of the blast zone. I came home and found silence. No screams, no blood, just ashes. Ruva nods. Pain is the only language we both understand. The fire crackles. The night feels colder. Suddenly they hear a sound, a soft movement. Branches bending. Jake signals silence. He moves behind a tree. Ruva crouches low, her blade ready. 3 shadows appear, humans. Not soldiers, survivors. One man holds a rifle made from mixed parts. 2 others carry backpacks and nervous eyes. They see Jake. They shout his name. Jake steps forward. His face changes. He knows them, old allies, friends from before the silence. He runs too. Then they laugh and hug and hit his back like old times. Then they see Ruva. Their eyes turn dark, guns lift. Hands shake. Who is she? One asks. Jake says, she helped me destroy a beacon. She saved my life. They do not lower their weapons. One man shouts, she is one of them. She killed our people. She cannot be trusted. Jake stands between them. His voice steady. She is not the enemy anymore. But they do not believe. The oldest one steps forward. Let us take her to camp. The others will deceive. Ruva stands tall. She does not resist. Her face unreadable. They tie her hands. Jake watches without speaking. They walk back to the camp under heavy sky. The camp is deep in the forest. Tents made from plastic and bones. Children hide behind trees. Old men sharpen sticks like swords. Ruva is pushed into a cage made from wire and scrap. Jake stands outside. The people stare. Some shout. Some throw stones. Jake says nothing. Later that night he goes to her. She sits with her head down. She does not look at him. He whispers, I am sorry. She says, do not be. They have a right to hate. He says, you do not belong in a cage. She says, I was born in one. The next morning, a meeting is called. The camp leader, a woman with gray hair and one eye, speaks to the crowd. They bring Ruva in chains. Jake walks beside her. The leader speaks. This alien may have helped, but her kind burned our cities. Should we let her live or should we end it now? The people shout. Voices loud and broken. Jake raises his hand. He steps forward. He speaks from his heart. He says, she was my prisoner. Then she became my shield. She saved my life and helped destroy their beacon. She ran from her own people because she saw what they became. She is not our enemy. The people listen. Some shake their heads. Some look at Ruva differently. The leader walks to Ruva, looks into her eyes. She asks, why did you save a human? Ruva replies, because I saw his pain and it was louder than my orders. The leader waits, then nods. Cut the chains, she says. People do not cheer, but they do not stop at either. Ruva is free again. She walks out of the cage. Jake meets her eyes. No chains this time, only choice. Asterisk. The sky above the forest turns orange with heat and fire. Smoke rises from far mountains like fingers reaching for the stars. Jake sharpens his blade in silence, while Ruva stares at the radio like it holds the voice of a god. The camp breathes with fear. People move slowly, whispering, afraid of what comes next. No one trusts the calm. It is the kind of silence that always breaks into chaos. Jake listens to the static in the speaker, a faint pulse, a broken signal repeating every 10 seconds. Ruva steps closer, her voice low. That signal is not from Earth. It is from an orbit ship. Jake stands still. He looks at her eyes and knows what she's going to say before she says it. They are coming. She nods once. The beacon may be gone, but the tracker had already pinned. Now the Amazons will come to erase everything. Camp leader calls a meeting. Jake speaks first. He tells them about the signal, about the incoming fleet, about the total wipe. The leader listens without blinking. The crowd murmurs, some deny. Some cry. Ruva steps forward, her voice like iron. If they come, they will not talk. They will not ask. They will cleanse the land. Someone shouts. Then we run. Someone else says, where can we run to when they fly? Jake lifts a hand. We do not run. We strike first. The leader turns to him. Strike with what? We have no weapons, no ships, no numbers. Jake looks at Ruva. She nods once. There's a base in the east, she says, hidden under the ruins of an old city. It holds a relay tower that links ground units to the orbit fleet. If we destroy it, they go blind. The camp goes quiet. One man asks, "How do you know?" Ruva replies, "Because I was trained there." Jake steps forward. "Let us go." "Just us. We do not risk the camp." The leader looks at them both, then nods. "Take what you need and go." That night, they prepare. Jake takes a small bag of tools. Ruva checks an old map printed on faded plastic. They eat cold rations beside a dying fire. No words. In the early morning, they leave the camp. The path is long and filled with ruined old buildings eaten by vines. Cars split in half by time. They walk for hours without rest. Ruva never looks tired. Her steps fast and smooth like a shadow moving with purpose. Jake watches her. He wonders what kind of soldier she was. He wonders what kind of person she is becoming. They reach a broken highway. Below it lies the entrance to the underground base. 2 dead scouts hang near the door. One human, one Amazon. Ruva stares at them, not with pain, not with pride, just silence. Inside the base, the lights still work, flickering like old memories. Jake moves first, knife in hand, eyes scanning every wall, every shatter. Ruva follows. She knows the path without needing signs. They pass labs filled with broken machines, rooms with beds still stained with old blood. The deeper they go, the warmer the air becomes. They find the relay room, huge metal walls, and a tower of light pulsing with alien code. Jake walks to the control panel. Ruva speaks fast. "Cut the 3rd wire, reverse the signal loop, force an overload in the power core." Jake works with shaking hands. Sparks fly. The machine hums louder outside. Alarms begin to rise. Ruva pulls her blade. "They are here," she says. Jake keeps working. Footsteps echo in the hall. 3 armored Amazons enter, their eyes cold, their blades ready. Ruva stands between them and Jake. No words. The first Amazon charges. Ruva meets her with a roar. Metal hits metal. Jake hears the sound, but keeps working. The machine pulses faster. Lights turn red. Sparks shoot like fireflies. The second Amazon reaches him. Jake lifts a wrench and swings, pain in his shoulder. He keeps going. Ruva defeats the last enemy. She is bleeding, but she stands. Jake yells, "It is ready." She grabs him and pulls him back. They run as the tower begins to shake. The hallway glows with light. The exit is far, but they move like wind behind. Then the tower explodes. Fire follows. They dive through a broken wall and land in the dirt outside. Silence, then sky, then breath. Jake looks at her. Armor is cracked, her face is cut, but she is smiling. "The relay is gone," he says. She replies, "For now they are blind." They walk away from the ruins as smoke rises behind them. War is not over, but today the hunted struck first. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. Snow begins to fall like the world is trying to wash away the fire. The mountains rise in the distance, cold and quiet, untouched by war. Jake walks with slow steps, his arm wrapped in cloth stained with blood. Ruva walks beside him, silent, her body covered in burns, her face marked by the last battle. They have walked for 2 days without food. The forest gave them nothing but ice and memories. Jake stumbles once, then again. Ruva grabs his shoulder and pulls him back to his feet. He wants to speak, but no words come. They reach an old cabin hidden between rocks, the roof half gone, the door barely holding. Inside, the air is still. No enemies, no traps, no machinus. Ruva clears the floor. Jake sits against a broken wall. His breathing is heavy, his eyes closing again and again. She finds old blankets, old tools, an old fire pit filled with ash. She lights a fire with sparks from her blade and dry wood from the broken door. Warmth returns slowly like a forgotten song. Jake closes his eyes and leans back. Ruva watches him for a long time. Then she steps out into the snow and disappears into the trees. Ruva watches him for a long time. Then she steps out into the snow and disappears into the trees. Returns hours later, her arms full of roots, herbs, and ice fish from a frozen stream. She cooks without speaking. She feeds him with her hands. Jake eats slowly, his voice weak. Why are you doing this? Ruva answers without looking at him. Because I want to. He leans back again, his thoughts swimming in the heat and pain. The next day his fever rises. He shakes like the wind is inside his bones. Ruva holds a wet cloth to his forehead. She boils herbs and drips them into his mouth. He speaks in dreams. Names of the dead, screams from the past. He reaches out and says, please do not go. Ruva holds his hand. I am here for 2 days. She does not sleep. She watches him, cleans his wounds, burns the infection out with heat and medicine. Her hands move with care. Her voice whispers old words from her childhood, words she was never allowed to speak on. The third morning Jake opens his eyes. He sees her sleeping against the wall, her blade across her lap, her head tilted like a soldier ready to wake at sound. He stares at her and something inside him breaks and heals at the same time. When she wakes, he smiles for the first time in days. She touches his head. The fever is gone. They spend the next days in silence, fixing the cabin, building a door, melting snow for water, making traps for small animals. One night they sit by the fire. Jake asks her, did you ever believe in peace? Ruva stares at the flames. I believed in survival. Peace was a word my people used to cover control. But now I think peace is not something you find. It is something you build. Jake nods slowly, then he says, you saved me again. Ruva replies, and you changed me. Jake looks at her. Changed how? Ruva speaks without fear. I was born to fight, trained to command. I never knew kindness until you. Jake feels his heart beat louder. He reaches for her hand. She does not pull away. The next morning, they climb the hill behind the cabin. The view shows the world. Broken and quiet ruins of cities, smoke from distant fires, but also green valleys, rivers still moving. Jake says, maybe we stay here. Ruva says, maybe we belong nowhere. Jake replies, then let us belong to each other. She turns to him, her golden eyes softer than he has ever seen. She says nothing, but she does not look away. Days turn to weeks. The cabin becomes a home, the fire always warm, the snow no longer cruel. They hunt together, cook together, talk at night about dreams they never had the chance to dream before. One evening, Jake brings her a gift, a ring made from wire and crystal found in the river. He kneels without saying the words, because the moment already speaks for him. Ruva takes the ring, places it on her finger, leans close, and whispers once, I was a weapon, now I am yours. The world outside still burns, the war still waits, but inside this small cabin between 2 mountains, 2 souls have found something rare, not peace, not escape, but each other. Asterisk. The wind changes before the sun rises. Jake wakes with a weight in his chest he cannot explain. The fire is still warm, and Ruva sleeps beside him, her breath slow and deep outside. The snow is quiet, but the silence feels wrong, like the forest is holding its breath. Jake steps out of the cabin, his spear in hand. He looks at the trees and the trail they made last week, tracks in the snow that should have vanished by now. But they have no. Walks further. Something moves in the distance. Not a deer, not a drone. Humans. 3 of them, weapons. Raised eyes hard. He steps back toward the cabin. They see him. They shout. Jake runs inside. Ruva is already awake. She grabs her blade. Jake says nothing, only looks into her eyes. They hear boots, voices, guns clicking. The door flies open. The same men from the old camp. One of them is the scout who once called Jake brother. They enter fast and surround them. Jake steps forward, his voice calm. What do you want? The leader raises a rifle. We want her. Jake does not move. The man says, you were seen together, living like animals, sharing food, sleeping under the same roof. He spits on the floor. She is not one of us. She never will. Ruva stands tall, her face cold. She says, I bled for your people. I killed my own to save you. Man laughs. That makes you worse. Jake says, leave or fight. The leader smiles. You always were a fool. Jake. Another man moves fast and knocks Jake to the ground. Blood runs from his mouth. Ruva moves to protect him, but they throw a net of sparks and she falls shaking. They drag them both outside. Tie Jake to a tree. Tie Ruva to a post. The sky begins to turn red. The leader speaks to the crowd of survivors. They have followed us since the mountain. They were waiting for us to lower our guard. He lifts his rifle. We burn the alien witch and we exile. The traitor. The crowd is silent. Some turn their eyes away. Some watch with fire in their hearts. Ruva looks at Jake. Jake looks at the ropes. He pulls with all his strength, but the rope holds. Then he sees Ida child hiding behind the trees, one of the same children Ruva once protected during the last raid. The child steps forward. She walks to Jake, hands him a knife. Jake does not ask why. He cuts the rope fast. The leader turns too late. Jake tackles him to the ground. Rifle fires once, then drops. Others shout. Ruva is still tied but kicking hard. Jake grabs the spark net control from the leader's belt. He presses it, and the field around Ruva drops. She rises like fire born of rage. 3 men fall before they take their next breath. The rest run. Leader crawls backward. Jake stands over him. You were my brother once. Now you are nothing. Ruva walks past him. Her blade silent. She does not kill the leader. She looks into his eyes. That is worse. They walk back to the cabin. It is broken. The door smashed. The fire out. Jake rebuilds the door in silence. Ruva fixes the shelves, picks up the torn blankets. They do not speak until night. Jake sits beside the fire. Ruva stands in the doorway watching the snow. He says they were afraid. She replies fear turns men into monsters. Jake nods, then asks, do you still believe we can stay here? Ruva says no. Jake feels something fall inside him, but she continues, because we are not meant to hide forever. Because the world is still burning, because somewhere out there, more like us, exist people who are tired of hate. Jake looks at her, then stands, then lifts the old radio. He says then, let us find them. Together she walks to him, places her hand on his chest. Between 2 worlds we survive now. Let us build a third asterisk, 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 asterisk. The valley below is quiet and wide, filled with green trees, rivers flowing, and birds singing like they do not know the stars are watching. Jake stands on a hill with Ruva by his side, her armor gone, her body wrapped in earth clothes, stitched with care and worn with pride. Their cabin is no longer broken, its walls strong, its door painted with signs of 2 worlds, one in red carved by Ruva, one in black drawn by Jake. For weeks they listened to the radio. For weeks they heard only silence and static, until one night a voice broke through it, spoke in fear and code. Survivors in the north. A small group running from patrols, hiding in the bones of a factory. Jake and Ruva did not wait. They packed rations, sharpened blades, charged an old battery pack with sunlight and wire. They moved fast through forests, across rivers, through towns lost to time. They found the group scared, broken, hungry humans who had never seen an alien and did not shoot. Aliens who had never seen kindness and did not run. Ruva spoke for them both, not as a warrior, not as a commander, as a voice of something new, a bond between fire and soil, between blade and breath, between survival and hope. Word spread slowly but strong. Others came in 2s and 3s. In silence Jake helped build new shelters. Ruva trained the guards not for war, but for protection. And as the new people stood together under one sky, they called their place the third dawn. But peace is a thing that never walks alone. It always carries a shadow. One night, under clouds thick with storm, the sky lit up in radar signal from orbit. Ruva felt it before the radio caught it. The Amazons had returned, not in ships but in messages. Warnings, demands: return the traitor, return the rebel, return the woman who broke the code of war. Jake read the message with a still face. Ruva said nothing. She walked outside. She watched the lightning crawl across the sky. She turned to Jake. They are not coming for blood. They are coming for memory. He asked her what she meant. She said, if they erase me, they erase the proof that we can be more. The next morning, the people of Third Dawn gathered. Jake stood beside Ruva, his hand holding hers. He said, we built this from dust and ash. We built it on pain, but also on choice. We will not give it away. Ruva looked at the crowd. I am not leaving if they want to take me. They will come down to Earth, and they will see who I have become. Jake and Ruva prepared for the final step, not a battle, but a message. They found an old beacon, one last tower from the first invasion. They fixed it, charged it, pointed it at the stars. Ruva recorded her voice. This is Ruva, daughter of command, rebel of the storm. I live, I have chosen peace, I have chosen love, I will not return. Then Jake spoke, and I am the earthling who took her as prisoner and made her my partner, not by chains, but by change. They sent the signal into the stars. Then they waited, days passed and no ships came. No voices replied, only silence. Then on the 10th night, the sky flashed again, one final message, 2 words only: she is free. Jake looked at Ruva. Ruva looked at the sky, and something inside both of them let go. The next morning, under soft light and calm air, the people gathered again. No one spoke. Jake stepped forward, holding a small ring made from copper and mountain stone. Ruva stepped beside him, her hands steady, her breath smooth. They said no vows, only looked into each other's eyes. Jake placed the ring on her finger. Ruva placed her palm on his heart, and without a sound they were more than man and woman, more than human and alien, more than hunter and hunted. They were one, wife of the earthling, husband of the Amazon, not symbols, not weapons, not trophies, builders of the third world. The people cheered. The wind carried their joy across the trees. Birds took it to the clouds. The stars held it in silence, and far above, where satellites drift like ghosts, one signal remained open, playing a message on loop in every language known and unknown. Love is stronger than design. Peace is louder than war. And somewhere in a quiet valley, 2 hands held on to that truth forever. Asterisk, 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 asterisk.